Hello everyone, your favorite coffee lover is back with a brand new series, and we're gonna call it Science Off with Coffee Will. And in this series, as you might know, I'm a big science guy, and I like to know how things work and why stuff is happening, and yeah, just have a knowledge of stuff in the real world. So we're gonna, I'm gonna take the time to go through a few articles that I've read because I subscribe to a Swedish science magazine called Illustrerad Vetenskap, or that would be in English like Illustrated Science. So I'm gonna take an article or two from that magazine and just talk to you guys about it. And yeah, so today I'm gonna speak about, like, it was an article called "Free Like a Fish," and it's like new technology to help divers so that being able to dive even deeper into the oceans than ever before. And as you might know, you can't dive too deep down because the pressure at those extreme depths gets too strained and your lungs can't handle it. Plus, when you get up, you are at real risk for the diver sickness, which is like, I think it's, I might be wrong here, but I only know the Swedish word, but it's nitrogen that gets into your bloodstream and, pushes out the oxygen, which, yeah, causes severe damage. But this technology hasn't been tested yet. But as we all know, there's plenty of jackasses willing to try out crazy stuff, just the technology just has to get to that phase, and then there's probably gonna be people trying it out because they want to be the first persons diving deepest. And the plan is that the diver inhales oxygen through a liquid while carbon dioxide is removed by specially constructed gills. And gills is like the way fishes do this, so they just call that gills on here as well. And that's going to be in like a little backpack on the diver's back. And these gills emits the harmful gas to the seawater. And this is all being planned out by a heart surgeon, Arnold Landee from Minnesota. And he's actually retired, but he still likes to think about things, and I think that this is great. But the plan, or how it would actually work in practice, is that on the boat, when the diver's prepping for, going down, there has to be a doctor present who would insert a catheter into the big vein on your thigh and then connect that catheter to the gills. And then you would have a second catheter from your thigh connected to the gills as well. And what that would do is that your blood would like kind of go through, from your thigh to the backpack and back to your thigh. And the only thing why you would do that is to get the carbon dioxide cleaned out of the blood, because that's the problem with, because as you might know, when you stop breathing and you don't, exhale, the carbon dioxide is still in your system, and that's why you can't do that. So yeah. So let's see. I have my papers here. Now the gills remove the carbon dioxide from the blood. Yeah, alright. And once the diver is like 30 feet down, he first starts off by using air in his mask, the normal way, to dive down 30 feet. And then he replaces the air with a liquid containing loads of oxygen. The problem is that you have to numb the back of your throat with a local anesthetic so that the diver is able to breathe through the liquid, because as you might know, if you swallow a whole lot of water, the so-called survival instinct kicks in place, that you lock up your throat, and of course you don't want to swallow the liquid, but this is going to be like, you need to have the liquid in your lungs, and for that, being able to do that, you have to numb your back of your throat. And because you're breathing through a liquid, the insane water pressure at extreme depths doesn't collapse your lungs, which is great. And since you're breathing through an oxygenized liquid, you can rise to the surface without being afraid of diver sickness, because now you have plenty of oxygen at your disposal at all times, and it's like the same condition at all, because you're not breathing the air, so to say, but you're breathing through the liquid at all times until you are at that 30 feet level. And once again, at 30 feet, when you're coming up, you remove the liquid from your lungs and put on an air mask. And it was kind of funny. You actually do this by going upside down and just letting the liquid kind of glide out of your lungs. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then just go up the old way. And another cool thing about this technology, if it starts working properly, is that you can use it to help premature babies stay alive, because breathing through a liquid is easier for the lungs than breathing through with a respirator as your help. Alright, so that was it, and I'm just gonna say I think this is awesome, because we haven't been able to go to the depths of some oceans and look at all the organisms and creatures living there. And I always think it's a cool thing when we can use technology to go even further with gaining experience about how our world works and all the good stuff. So I mean, I'm excited for this. And now, since I have a little time, I'm gonna do this is gonna be like a crazy fun fact of these science things. And this one is radioactive water sold on bottle. And in the 1920s, a German company made a device that radioactive radium breaks down, and when it breaks down, it emits radon, which is a gas, to the water. This was considered a health product, like one of those products. Oh, you need to do this because then you'll live longer. But we all know that radioactivity causes cancer, and certainly if you drink radioactive water, I mean, just think of the Chernobyl and the ramifications of that. I mean, this was sold, I don't know in what extent, but from like 1920s, and then like in 1950 it was discontinued because people actually thought, oh my god, this is not a health product, this is just harmful for the people. So I thought that was fun. The crazy things people do before we know the truth. But yeah, let me know what you think about this science talk, and yeah, I'll be sure to pump out more of these videos, because as you all know, I'm a science geek. Bye bye!